I love using cashback cards. Pretty much every single transaction I make will be using one of these. Maybe a handful where it doesn't work for, but most of the time I'm earning money when I spend for such little effort. Okay, yeah, it might only be small amounts each time. We're talking at most 1%, maybe a smidgen more in some occasions, but that really will add up over time, over the year, and you can be hundreds of pounds better off, particularly when you factor in things like welcome bonuses that come with some of the cards. So it used to be that Chase's debit card was my top cashback pick because you got 1% back on pretty much all your spending. Sadly, that has now changed, and the restrictions that have come in mean that although it's worth sticking with it, I personally wouldn't go out of my way to get a Chase debit card for the cashback feature. Give you a quick rundown on what it offers. It goes 1% on groceries, everyday transport, and petrol. By everyday transport, it means things like ferries, trains, buses, the tube, stuff like that. It doesn't include flights. It doesn't include anything overseas as well. So it's relatively restricted there. And bear in mind that with groceries, you can get more than 1% back if you buy a cashback gift card via the likes of Top gift cards, Hyperjar, Cheddar, Jam Donut. All of those will give you between sort of 2 and 5% back on a gift card for Tesco, Sainsbury's, Asda, Waitrose, you name it, right? So that's probably a better way for you to get money back on your grocery shopping, which really means you're having this card for your transport costs, which is no mean thing. It's not really a bad thing if you spend a lot of money on that and petrol. And getting 1% of those is, in some cases, hard to beat, but generally not amazing. You're capped at £15 of cash back every single month, and you have to pay £1,500 into the account in the prior month. It doesn't have to be in one go, doesn't have to stay there, but you need to do that to trigger that cash back. So that's Chase for you. Again, not one to get too excited about anymore. Similar to this is the Santander Edge current account and the debit card that comes with that. 1% on groceries and transport, including petrol as well. So pretty much the same thing as you're going to earn money on. It will earn you £10 maximum every single month. But again, I think that slightly lower cap isn't really an issue because if you're buying your groceries in a different way with those discounted gift cards, it's just transport and petrol, right? So you're going to be generally fine. £1,000 every month on that, I think, would be quite a lot for most people. This one requires £500 deposited every single month and 2 direct debits to come out of the current account as well. It also comes with a £3 fee every single month. Now, that might sound, well, why would I go for that? What's the point of that one? Well, you do also get 1% on your bills you pay by direct debit. So council tax, energy, water, broadband, TV, mobile as core bills. No long as you are paying those out of your account, that will more than justify that £3 fee. You'll get more than that. I'm not saying a huge amount more every year, but a little bit more than that. And it means you've got that account. And you also get access to a 6% paying savings account and balance it up to £4,000. So when you combine all that together, if you're choosing between that and Chase and you want a cashback debit card for at least some of your spending, then Santander may well have the edge over Chase right now with that Edge account, despite that fee. However, there is a third option, which I think could be a really good backup for everyone. Or if you really don't want a cashback credit card, just one for your everyday spending on the bulk of what you're putting your money towards. And this is from Trading 212. Yes, they're an investing platform, but they do have a cashback card as well. Now, this one will give 0.5% back on the bulk of your spending. Now, you can beat that with some credit cards, but not all. So it is a decentish rate to have, okay? Now, this is capped at £20 of cashback every single month, but that means on £4,000 every single month you spend, you'll earn your cash back on it. There are some restrictions, as you'll have with all cashback cards, debit or credit cards. You won't earn it on things like gambling, buying a new car, paying off a credit card, but normal everyday spending, wherever it is, you'll be earning that money back. Now, there is a small charge for this to get a physical card, £4.95, but you get a free virtual card. In fact, you can have a couple of virtual cards if you wish. Now, if you're like me and you do most of your spending with your phone anyway, that shouldn't be a problem. So you might not necessarily have to get that card. And where this also has an additional perk is that you will get that cash back overseas where there are no charges for your spending as well. So when you go on holiday, this one could well be the top pick for your spending, even if you've got an alternative to use at home. So when it comes to credit cards, there are some rules which are really vital you follow before you apply and when you've got one. The first thing is, don't just apply blind. Make sure you do a soft eligibility search first of all, because it's really important to protect your credit rating. I'd go via a comparison site generally. You get a list of all the different cards that you are eligible for and your chance of acceptance. If you're 10 out of 10, 100%, maybe that's a better one to go for than when you're sort of 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10. As long as it doesn't say 0 out of 10 though, when you've got no chance of getting it, it might be worth a go, particularly if you're really keen on a particular cashback reward that we're going to go through in a moment. The other really important thing to remember is once you have got that card, you pay off that balance every single month, the complete balance, because otherwise you're going to get charged interest and that will wipe out any cashback you've earned. It's pointless using a cashback credit card if you're not clearing it in full every single month. So those really important, you know those things and you follow those things with credit cards. So then the credit cards themselves are split into a few different categories here. We've got the best American Express cashback cards, the best Visa or Mastercard cashback cards, the best supermarket or retailer specific cashback cards, and the best airline reward cards. In my view, the best cashback and reward credit cards are from American Express. Most of the cards are going to earn you points or money back in some form, plus they have those amazing welcome bonuses. The top one, I would say that for most people right now, my number one pick, and this is therefore my number one pick across all cashback and reward cards, is going to be the American Express Nectar credit card. And the reason for this is because it will give you the highest general rate on the bulk of your spending. You will earn 2 Nectar points for every pound that you spend. That basically works out 1% back. I mean, that is on all your spending. It's not restricted to certain categories. All your spending, other than the usual exceptions, will earn you 1%. Now, of course, you are going to earn them as Nectar points, so you're going to have to use them in Sainsbury's or Argos, but broadly speaking, we can all do a grocery shop at some point with those points we earn. You can also, if you want to, swap them to other things like Airline, but I would personally use them for those grocery shopping. Now, this one also, the points are effectively redeemable almost instantly. Once you've spent, the points get added just really, really quickly to your account, so you're not having to wait around for them. Now, this is free in the first year, which is great. In the second year, afterwards, it goes up to £30 a year. So then you might want to factor in, do I want to keep paying this 30 quid for this? However, the first time you apply for this, if you get a refer a friend link or you go via a cashback site like Top Cashback or Quidco, you can often get around 20 quid there as well, if not more. And that should obviously balance out at least some of that for that second year. Now, if you don't fancy that one and you want a pure cashback card, then maybe you want to look at the American Express Cashback card. It used to be called the Platinum Cashback. Now it's just called Cashback. This earns you 0.75% for the first £10,000 you spend in a year. And if you spend over that, it goes up to 1.25%. So for big spenders, you could be getting, again, much closer on average to a 1% rate there. That does reset every 12 months though, so you go back to the beginning and start again on that 10 grand spend and keep going like that. And then this one, the cashback is only payable at the end of the year, which is a bit of a frustration, but obviously that means you get about 100 quid, maybe something like that on all your spending, waiting for you, ready to claim, and then a new year starts. Now, this one does have a fee in the first year, £25. Sometimes there are special offers from Amex where they wipe that out. Or again, if you go via a cashback site, you can get that cleared for that first year. Again, with all these cards, second year onwards, maybe you want to ditch it and replace it with a different one. Again, we're not even talking here about the welcome bonuses, which can be quite lucrative, but they're definitely the two that I'd be looking at to start off. The other one, which you might want to consider, is the American Express Preferred Rewards Gold Card. Let's call it the Amex Gold for short. This will give you 1 point for every pound you spend, which is the equivalent of 0.5%. So not amazing. But every 2.5 grand you spend over £5,000 will add on another bonus, some extra points, which means you potentially can get up to 0.75%. So between 0.5 and 0.75% average cashback, depending where you are between those different limits. Which again isn't too bad, but this card comes with a few little extras which are worth talking about. For example, if you regularly shop at Deliveroo, you get 2 lots of £5 credit to use every single month. You also get 4 airport priority pass lounge passes with that as well, which might make it quite interesting. I think why people often veer to this one over the others is you often get a boosted welcome bonus on this one, potentially worth 150 quid when those offers do come along. The reason why I would steer clear of this one over the other two is because it would rule you out potentially of another welcome bonus later on the much more expensive, much more exclusive Amex Platinum card, which will not be for everyone. But if you think you would be interested in getting that welcome bonus later on, you will be eligible for that with the cashback or the Nectar. You wouldn't with the gold. But if you're not bothered about that, and when the boosted offer comes along with the gold card, then maybe do give that one a go. But again, only for 1 year, because this is free in the first year, but after that it's 195 quid. And I would challenge anyone to find any value in that money afterwards. Most of the time, you'll be absolutely fine using an American Express cashback or reward credit card on your spending, but you will maybe have occasions when a retailer doesn't take it, in which case you might want to get a Visa or Mastercard reward card as a backup. Also, in addition, the cards I'm going to take you through right now, they are fee-free abroad as well, which means you can potentially earn some spending on holidays and things like that. With those Amex cards, yes, you'll earn the cashback abroad, but you also get charged for some currency fees, so I wouldn't use them overseas. So the one to look for here, and I think this has been my backup for a long time, is the Barclaycard Rewards credit card. Now this will only pay 0.25%. Now at the time of filming this in April 2025, there's actually a short-term offer boosting that to 0.5% for 6 months. But generally speaking, if you already got it or you apply after this date, it's going to be that lower 0.25%, which again isn't amazing. But again, we're talking about this as a backup to having one of those Amex cards or maybe one of those debit cards that earns money. Really is what it is. It's there having a Visa cashback card at your disposal. Otherwise, you could look at the Santander Edge credit card. So this one, you have to have a Santander credit card to get it. There is a fee that comes with it, £3 a month. So you need to factor that into your cashback you earn. But in the first year, you get 2% back. And again, there are no restrictions on your spending here. Much broader one. After that is 1% for year 2 onwards. Now, there's a maximum of £15 cashback you can earn in a month. So in that first year at 2%, that means you're only going to earn it on that first 750 quid. Remember, you do have to factor in that £3 fee. So really, you're not going to be getting 2%. You're going to be getting less than that, but it still can be one of the highest earning ones, one of the best ways to earn money right now in that first year, as long as you do spend 750 quid and no more on it. Once you've hit that, you stop using it. So depending on how much you spend in a month, that could just be 1 month or 2 months, and then that's it, it's gone. A third one to tell you about, and again, this is only going to be for specific spending. I think for most cases, it's not going to be necessary, but this is the NatWest Travel Reward credit card. You will get 1% here on UK travel spending, so trains, planes, car rentals, buses, but also hotels. And again, like other cards which offer money back on transport, this does include flights and things like that. So if you are doing some spending and you haven't got an American Express credit card, cashback card, which also offers a similar rate, this might be one to consider. It is fee-free abroad, but you don't earn the cashback on it abroad. But it's certainly something to think about. A couple of other quick ones to mention just here, just for completeness. But again, most time you won't need them. NatWest also have a reward card that gives you 1% back at supermarkets, but I think you're better off using a cashback gift cards for your supermarket spending, 0.25% elsewhere, so not too dissimilar from that Barclaycard Rewards card. Now, as long as you have a NatWest current account, there's no fee. If you don't, it's £24 a year. So it's only really if you're already a NatWest customer. Also available from RBS. Or Virgin Money have the Everyday Cashback credit card, 0.25% on all your spending, although capped at £15 of earnings a month. Although that's quite a lot you're going to be spending to get that at true 0.25%. And it is fee-free abroad. So that might be an alternative to the Barclaycard Rewards card, particularly worth knowing about because you can't have more than one Barclay card. So if you've got a different Barclay card, the Amazon or the Avios cards, for example, you won't be able to get rewards. Well, maybe that Virgin Money one is a great backup. Okay, the next category are the best supermarket and retailer-specific cashback and reward credit cards. There are, again, only a handful of these worth considering, and they're only worth looking at if you are going to be shopping at these places on a regular basis. But if you do, then absolutely I would be taking a look. First one is for Amazon shoppers. Now, personally, I don't shop at Amazon, so I've not gone down this route. But I used to have one in the past, the previous iteration of it, and it did earn me a decent amount. This will give you 1% at Amazon. Okay, so again, you can get that same rate with the Amex Nectar. But if you don't want that or haven't got that for whatever reason, this will give you that. And also, when it comes to big Amazon sales like Prime Day or Black Friday, you get 2% back. Now, you get 0.5% elsewhere for the first 12 months, which makes, again, one of the better picks there for non-American Express cards for general spending. After 12 months, that drops to 0.25%. So it's not a bad all-rounder, but really, this is about those people who do shop at Amazon on a regular basis. There's also a £20 welcome bonus available to you. Sometimes that is increased, and this is fee-free. The other one worth talking about here is the John Lewis Partnership credit card, John Lewis and Waitrose. This will earn you 5 points for every £4 that you spend at either of those retailers, which is the equivalent of 1.25%. So that is one of the highest paying ones again out there, particularly on supermarket shopping. But you can beat that if you are using a discounted gift card. So again, this is really only for those who don't want to go down that route. Otherwise, elsewhere, you get 5 points for every £4 spent, equivalent of 0.25%. So again, not a bad backup for that general spending elsewhere, but not going to be a total winner. There are often welcome offers here as well, so it's worth having a look to see what's available. You might be able to get double points or an extra voucher and things like that. What's worth noting with both the Amazon and John Lewis cards is that you have to get £5 worth of points before you can cash them out. So that is a downside with those. If you only use them semi-regularly, it could be a while before you're able to get your hands on any of those. And of course, then the money that comes through, you've got to spend it at Amazon or at John Lewis or Waitrose. Couple others just worth mentioning to you if you are regular shoppers. M&S Bank Rewards will give you 1 point for every pound at M&S, equivalent of 1%. Not great for shopping elsewhere. And the Asda Money credit card, that's 0.75% back at Asda. Although you can, as we've established, get better cashback cards for supermarkets or better ways to save at supermarkets than going down those routes. All right, let's talk about airline reward cards right now, because I think for general everyday spending, they're not your best option. If you want that flexibility in your points and rewards, then another cashback or reward card is going to be much, much better for you. Even if you're after flights, because you get to shop around on different sales, different options. You're not tied in to a particular airline or a particular limited number of reward seats. But if you are someone who is a high spender, and I think this is really only for high spenders, and you really got like a big trip coming along, a big sort of dream destination, where you want to trigger what's called a companion voucher or an upgrade voucher. Effectively, you either get 2-for-1 seats or an upgrade to business or premium plus, whatever it might be, then they can be worth a look. But you need to spend a lot to trigger those rewards, and you need to spend a lot to generate enough points in order to have those to go alongside that companion voucher. So this is really, really for big spenders, which is why I think the free versions of the cards out there aren't worth it for most people. This is just for those big, big, big spenders. And I'd also try and time your application for when there are boosted welcome offers. So you get even more of those points when you join and hit that sort of spending trigger, because that will help you on your way to using those companion vouchers for those really luxury destinations. Now, the ones to consider here are the British Airways American Express Premium Plus credit card. This will earn you 1.5 Avios for every pound that you spend. Obviously, that's on top of any welcome bonus you might get. This one in particular often has increased welcome bonuses. So I'd wait around until they are shown. We'll tell you all about them over at becleverwithyourcash.com. Now, this one has a companion voucher, which you trigger if you spend £15,000 in a year. And that's the year from when you open the card, not a calendar year. So if you open it in April, well, then you've got until the following April to spend that 15 grand to trigger that voucher, and then it's valid for 2 years. Now, this does come with a £300 annual fee, so you've got to bear that in mind as well. All these cards do come with fees. If you are not interested in that one, or you've already got that and you want to get more Avios from a different route, another welcome bonus, then the Barclaycard Avios Plus also gives 1.5 points for every pound that you spend. Generally has a lower welcome bonus, and that's rarely boosted, but certainly worth a look. Now, you only need to spend 10 grand on this to get a cabin upgrade voucher. Obviously, these vouchers all work slightly differently, but you might be able to combine them, or if you're a solo traveler, that might be a better option for you. This one is a little bit cheaper at £20 a month. And the last one, Virgin Atlantic Reward Plus, again, 1.5 points for every pound that you spend. Spend 10 grand to get a companion or an upgrade voucher with those, and that is cheaper at 160 quid a year. Obviously, you're using those points there towards Virgin Atlantic flights. Again, as I said, I personally would only go for those if you are spending a lot of money. Much, much better off just going for a different card. Although it's worth noting with those Avios cards, if there is a really, really good bonus coming along there, you can transfer them into Nectar points. So for example, 1.5 Avios points works out the equivalent of 0.75% cashback as a Nectar point, lower than some of the other options out there, and you do have that fee to factor in. So again, that's only really if there's enough of going on in other deals to make it worth your while. Got into detail on these and many other cards over at becleverwithyourcash.com. My name's Andy Webb. Thanks so much for watching. Check out these videos here for more ways to make the most of your money.